All right, I want to share with you guys an opener that I've used personally thousands of times. That's worked for me greatly. Really successful with this opener. That's helped me get hung up on less, have more conversations, and because of that, sell more and make more money. I want to help you guys. I want to give you guys that opener, and then after I give you that opener, I'm gonna go into some mindset stuff for sales, like overall mindset stuff. Making cold calls all day, you can get a little bogged down. So I'm gonna jump into some mindset stuff that has helped me in my sales career. Probably a little more geared towards the novices, the people who are a little bit newer to sales. But if you want to stay after the opener, then I'm gonna give some insight on stuff that has made me successful in sales. So without adding too much fluff, let's just get right into it. The opener, it's very simple, but it's also very effective. It's just ask for the name, make sure you're talking to the right person. Hey, John. And they'll say something like, yeah, whatever, this is him who's asking, whatever, whatever. Hey, John, just going to be honest with you. This is a cold call. Would you like to hang up or give me 25 seconds and see from there and decide from there if this is worth a conversation? One more time. Hey, John. Yeah, this is him. Hey, John, just to be honest with you, man, this is a cold call. Do you want to hang up or do you want to give me 25 seconds and decide from there if this is worth a conversation? They are going to be so shocked that you're so like at your honesty, uh, that they're going to want to hear you out. They're also just going to be curious overall what you're calling about. And this has worked so much better than all the other openers I've used. I've tried a bunch of different stuff, and this is what I've had the most success with. This works. So try it out. Let me know in the comments if it works for you. Um, yeah, really good opener. They're gonna be super shocked at your honesty, and you're gonna spark their curiosity, their interest right away. They're gonna want to hear you pitch. If they give you permission, obviously you just instantly pitch, and I don't want to. This video is not based off pitch, but in your pitch, you want to hit some pain points that they potentially have. Um, and then after whatever time frame you ask for, I ask for 25 seconds. A lot of people ask for like 23 or some weird number. I think it's weird and awkward, but it's supposed to be an attention grabber. I don't know. Try different things, whatever works for you. So I ask for 25 seconds, and after my pitch, usually it's about 25 seconds. Uh, you want to be courteous. So just be like, hey, John, I've had my 25 seconds. Do you mind if we continue this conversation for an extra minute or so? And if you pitch them correctly, they're going to be like, sure, yeah, I'll hear you out for an extra minute. Yeah, we can talk for an extra minute. Um, yeah, so that's the opener. Try it out. Let me know if you have success with it. Write a comment down below. The rest of this video is just going to be some mindset and tips and tricks like that. So what I think is super important for cold calling and sales, you have to have for calls, right? It's not a face to face. It's not an in person. So they're judging you based off your voice, right? So your tonality, the way you say things, is more important, way more important than what you're actually saying. The way you say things is so important. So confidence, you got to speak with confidence and swagger, and you have to portray. They have to truly believe that you're an expert in your field. You don't want to lie or anything like that. Do your research. Make sure you know what you're selling inside and out, and then speak with confidence, swagger. But yeah, expert in your field, right? You go. Let's say, for example, you go for a surgery, and the doctor tells you, you ask the doctor how many times have you done this surgery before? Like, oh, I just got out of med school. You're my first one. Are you excited for that? Hell no. You're like, what? No, I'm leaving. I'm gonna go find a doctor who's done this 1,000 times before. I'm gonna find an expert. Same thing with sales. People don't buy from Joe Schmo. They want to deal with experts, all right? Um, so know your product inside and out, and that'll take care of that. Speak with confidence and swagger. Like I said, tonality, the way you say things, is crucial. It's extremely important. And by the way, just throw this in there, the first 4 seconds of any call, that's your first impression. They don't decide if they're going to buy from you in this first 4 seconds, but they decide if they're not going to buy from you. One more time. They don't decide if they're going to buy, but they make up their mind if they're not going to buy from you. So confidence, swagger. Confidence, swagger, right? Let's say you're like 18 or 19. You're 19. You want to go to a party, and your friends freaking know you got a fake ID, so you got to go get the liquor, right? So you go to the liquor store, you take some Jack Daniels, you put it on the counter, and you got a baby face. So the cashier asks you how to see your ID. You take out your ID, you go to hand it to the cashier, and you're not looking at the cashier. You know, you're not making eye contact. You're kind of looking away, looking down, just screaming insecure and like nervous, right? So you go to hand them your ID. You're not looking at them, and your hand is visibly shaking, right? Well, now they know you're not 21. Now they know you're not 21. So they ask you how old you are, and you say 21 like it's a question, right? Like, 21, I think. No, yeah, I mean, they're just like, they know for a fact you're not 21. You're nervous. Like, why are you nervous? No one who's 21 is nervous, right? But yeah, they're gonna sell it to you anyway because they need money. But take that versus the example. Like, let's say you hand him your ID, same thing, but you hand him your ID. You look him in the eye. You're not shaking at all. You're firm. You're strong. Not visibly nervous. Very confident. And they ask you how old you are, and you say 21. Like, you say from the chest, 21. My birthday was last week. So much fun. You know, best birthday of my life. You know what I mean? Like, you say it with confidence, and you say it like you truly believe it. You are 21. And you just handed them the worst fake ID they've ever seen in their entire life. But they believe you're 21 because of the way you said it. They're like, this kid might actually be 21. Versus the first example where they instantly know for a fact, you know, that you're lying to them. You know, they're like, yeah, this kid's like 14 probably, but yeah, so confidence, swagger, which is the way you say things, and be an expert in your field, man. Be an expert in your field. If you have those three things, you know, it's not going to make people buy from you, but it's going to increase the chances exponentially. What else do I want to dive in here? So beginner mindset, right? A lot of people get discouraged because, you know, you're cold calling, you get hung up on a lot, you get told no a lot, and some people, especially people who are newer to it, let that discourage them, which you shouldn't, because with enough repetition and if you learn from your mistakes, and you truly want to learn, and you learn from your mistakes, you're going to become a beast in sales. Nobody's an expert overnight, right? It takes repetition. Sales is trial and error. You learn by failing. You don't just, when you learn how to ride a bike, right? You had training wheels first, and then you took off the training wheels, and then you still fell a few times, right? A baby, right? A baby comes out of the womb sprinting down the hallway of the hospital, right? No. No, they learn how to crawl first, and then how to walk, and then how to run. But when they learn how to walk, right, they stand up from crawling, they stand up, they take a step, they fall. They do it again, but they take a few more steps this time. Then they fall again. They keep doing that over and over and over again. Sales is the same way. You're going to mess up. There's going to come times where they give you some objection that you don't know how to answer. You're going to say the wrong things. You're going to forget you're going to forget things. You're going to draw blanks. You're going to sit there awkwardly in silence because you don't know what the hell to say. But as long as you learn from your mistakes, it's fine. Just learn from your mistakes, and you'll slowly get better and better and better and better. The beautiful thing about sales is that there's only so many objections, right? There's only so many objections. People just say them differently. People just throw them at you in a slightly different ways. Um, with enough experience, essentially, you like know the answers to the test, so to say. That time will come. At the beginning, it feels very overwhelming. I know, but that time will come where it's like you don't even have to think about it anymore. What else? What else do I want to go over here? Yeah, you're gonna mess up. Just be it. Learn from your mistakes. It's all good. The last thing I'll touch on in this video, it's already been, 11 minutes? The last thing I'll touch on in this video is write yourself a script and have an agenda before every call. If you're an SDR or BDR, your agenda is going to be to qualify the prospect and pass the set an appointment for your AE, for your account executive. But let's say you run your own business, right? Maybe you want to set up an in-person meeting for 30 minutes so you can go over more of what your business actually does and how you can help that person. Maybe you want to close right then and there on that call. Doesn't really matter. Just know what you want. How are you supposed to get something if you don't know what you want, right? It doesn't make any sense. So have your agenda in mind. And here's the last thing I'll say for this video. Write yourself a script. Write yourself a script. Don't be ignorant. Don't be like, oh, I can't write a script because I'm going to sound scripted. I'm going to sound like a salesperson. That is a very beginner mistake to make. Write yourself a script. Know what you're going to say beforehand. I'm not saying read it off I'm not saying like read it off word for word, but you want to have at least a general idea of where you want to take the call, what you want to say, and have that guideline. Just you could use it as a guideline. Otherwise, you're winging it, which is way less likely to yield the results that you want. It's also extremely unprofessional. But I've been using examples this whole video, so I'll use another example. Think about actors. Think about movies. Every movie, all your favorite movies, every movie that's made you cry or like emotionally invested, emotionally involved, whatever action movie, you're like, that was sick, whatever. Everything said in that movie was written out on paper as a script. It's just the actor who takes the script and makes it seem unscripted. That's exactly what you're doing in sales. Same thing. Yeah. So go ahead, try that opener out. Let me know in the comments below. My next video, I think it's going to be how to land a 6-figure sales job with no college degree and no experience as well. So if you want to see that, which by the way is very hard, I'm just being open about it. It's going to be very hard, but it's also very doable if you put in the work, okay? So if you want to see that video, subscribe and leave a comment down below. I want to hear about you guys using this opener. It completely changed my cold calling. It's going to do the same for you, and I want to hear about it. So let me know in the comments below, and that's it for my first video.